What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs, and I am here to talk to you about one of our awesome sponsors and something that I partake in, and that's Noom. Noom is a program, it's an app that you can put together for help with your weight loss and get living healthy lifestyle, which I am currently doing. I actually have it on my phone to show you guys right there. Focus in a little bit more. I love this thing. It's a great app that kind of keeps me in check. You can't really see it because it's blown out, but it keeps me in check. I love the all the different things that has me doing it. So I have to go through programs. I have personal coaches, stuff like that. The email day, different workouts to try, different meals to try, recipes, things like that. It calculates my calorie intake, calculates my water intake, which is important to me. I have a lot going on. Like I've lost about 4 more pounds. So total, I think that's 18 pounds now, which I'm really thrilled with, very happy with. My body feels really good. I've been going through a little bit of a sickness, but I'm still able to do this. I'm still able to continue it. And it's just been really, truly fantastic. The thing that sets this apart from so many other things is that this really kind of stands out in a way that it just wants to help you kind of get your lifestyle to where you want it to be and help you understand different habits that you have throughout eating. I have tons of, and I've been fluctuating for years, but this has been a really good thing for me. There's so many apps that I go to MyFitnessPal, I go to intermittent fasting, things like this. I can do all that in this one, and it has me weighing myself more, kind of keeping myself accountable for a lot of things, and I really appreciate it. So we have partnered with them, and Noom has daily lessons, personal coaching sessions, and support groups, tracking systems, and more. They won't tell you what you can or can't eat because they don't believe in good or bad foods, and that's true. I've been working with a lot of different foods. I had Salisbury steak and mac and cheese tonight, and it wasn't so much a portion control thing. It was what was going to sustain me for my dinner, and it helped me plan it out, and I love that. Will give you the knowledge and wisdom you need to make informed choices to fit your lifestyle. And I find that to be very true. I really enjoyed them so far. It's been helping me big time. And I will continue on. You guys can join me on my journey and what I'm doing and, follow me all over and you see I talk about it and such. But if you are interested in checking out Noom, they have a quiz that you can take and it will kind of give you the best program for you, what fits your needs, your wants, and kind of the lifestyle you're trying to build. So head on down. It's in the description below or on our website, on our link tree. You can find our affiliate link for Noom. Give it a try. Let us know what you think. And yeah, we'd love to get on board. We're talking about this stuff over on the Discord and more, so you guys can join up there and kind of connect with us. But yeah, please let us know what you think if you give it a try. All right, guys, let's get started with the show.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Scene Snobs Podcast. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, usually joined, as always, by my partner in crime, my co-pilot on this magic carpet ride, Mr. Casey the Man Plot, but he is on vacation this week. I thought he was going to be able to try and stop in. He was, things were kind of spotty, so I'm running at it solo, but I got some stories and I got some stuff to talk about, so please join in the comments. Like always, let's have a good time with it. Let me know what you think. Chris Harris is here. What is up, Chris? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining in. Chris, of course, we were just talking earlier over on TikTok, so it's all a community here. It's Snobs Nation. Paul's here. He says, I think I'll be trying that out. If you do try out Newman, you let me know. I've so far I really like the program, so go check it out for yourself, see if you like it. But we have some fun stuff planned tonight. So a couple of things I kind of want to get into before we get into my stories and what's sacred in movie talk. I wanted to talk about the movie Prey. So I watched Prey. I did a full review on it. You go check that out, and I kind of get into it a little bit, but there are some things about Prey that have been coming up. Oh, excuse me. I had a little cough there. So there's a couple things about Prey that have kind of threw me off a little bit. So first off, there's some talk about a movie that came out in 2019. It was a short film called Warrior Predator. And it was about a young Native American woman a warrior woman who went up against two female predators. Which, if you watch the short film, it's about 7 minutes. It's made by a filmmaker made Christopher R. Notarile, I believe his name is, and he's done some other stuff. You can check him out. Excuse me for my cough, but I don't know if Casey to save me tonight. But I will say I watched the short. I've watched Prey. There's a lot of parallels. Even for a 7 minute short film, there's a lot of things like I looked at and I'm like, this is something. This is going to be an interesting one. Gotta get that. I gotta clear out the old pipes. But yeah. So I watched Prey, and then I went and I watched the short film because it kind of came to my attention. Our good buddy AJ, who is a watcher of the show, brought it to my attention and said that they made the short film. And when I watched it, I was wondering, like, was there any credit given to Chris, or was there any compensation of any kind? And there wasn't. There was no connection at all. I can't just accuse anybody of anything. I know they started talking about a fifth installment of the Predator movies back around 2019, 2020, announcing it and such. So what could that have been? I mean, it just came out this year. So, and listen, the movie's beautiful. The movie is beautiful. It's well acted. The cast was a lot of fun to watch. It was a fun concept. But if they did take the ideas, and like I said, there's a lot of parallels. You look at it and you're like, I could see where they use that in Prey. I hope, I hope that it was that by accident. I really do, because that's just not right. Like, you can't watch something take the concept from somebody short and not at least reach out to them. So I don't know much more about the story, but that is something I thought maybe you guys should check. And I will add to the description below a link to the short film so you can check it out. But it is called Warrior Predator. Go check it out after the show. Let me know what you think. If you saw Prey, do you think that it kind of is very close in the concept at the very least? Like, the story's not exact, but the concept is pretty close. So, yeah, I always often wonder, like, where do you go from there? And I hope it wasn't stolen. I truly don't. It just never helps anybody. And I'd hate to see these filmmakers get trashed, because they are talented filmmakers, any of them. But so is Chris. He did a good job with it, and I'd like to see him get compensated as well, if it was in fact went that way and was taken from there. But yeah, but with Prey, there was something else that kind of came up that kind of threw me a bit for a loop. So I don't know if you guys check out Graveyard Shift. One of my favorites. You should check it out. I follow them on Instagram. They put these up all the time. The new Predator and Prey looks very different from the original. This one is supposed to look more ferocious and less like a professional wrestler who's lumbering around. That's a quote. For the former basketball player actually playing the Predator this time, that meant doing stunts without actually being able to see. Here's my question to you guys, and let me know what you think here. Hey, Liz, how you doing? So let me know what you think here. So it is quite a different look. I'm going to pull the picture back up for anybody who's watching. If you're not, you can go check it out. Or if you've seen Prey, you know what the look was. It had like the bone skull over his mask and things like that. I don't know why I couldn't see. Like, I don't know why that had to be a thing. And now some people can come to me and said this is a more primitive version because it's 300 years ago. Okay, fine. I can get behind that. Oh, excuse me. I can get behind that. But, you know, why though? Like, was it just to have a new look? And why such a drastically different look? Why not really kind of connect it to, what the Predators were. The one thing I think about the Predator franchise that nobody ever really complained about was the look of the Predator. I think the look of the Predator was always kind of like, people really enjoyed that. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. What'd you think of the look? It didn't astound me. I kind of didn't understand why. Just why? Why did it have to be that way? Because it's not like he had a shortage on technology. So why did he have to go and kind of be that, like, you know, unguarded with his equipment and stuff like that? So it kind of threw me off a little bit. I wasn't just a huge fan of it. Stuff like that was just kind of bugging me. But altogether though, it wasn't that bad. Hey Paul, what's going on, buddy? Paul says it was okay for me, but not my favorite of the franchise at all. But I'm unpopular opinion because all I've read is raving reviews. Listen. There's a lot to rave about in the movie. There is a lot in the movie to rave about. The Punisher, the Predator side of things was the one thing that kind of bugged me. I thought it took away from a good story. I thought the Naru, the main character, and it played by Amber Midthunder. I thought her story was going really well, and you didn't even need a Predator for it. It was she was an interesting character to follow. Everybody was an interesting character except for the Predator. I just didn't think it needed it, but whatever, they added it. Liz says, was it because it was in that new atmosphere? Maybe. I mean, anything's sort of possible, but there's never any real understanding. So I guess you can adopt it. I'm not putting it down. If people liked it, that's fine. I just has never been an argument for me when it comes to the look of the Predator. So yeah. Oh my god, why am I yawning so much? I was fine. I didn't yawn I sat here for an hour doing my work and putting my stuff together so I could talk about this. An hour. And I didn't yawn once. One single time. And I'm yawning like 1,500 times now. I'm so pissed off. I hate yawning. It makes my eyes water. It's stupid. No. But I'm just, now I'm annoyed because I'm yawning over and over again and I'm doing a podcast. Listen, I am getting sleepy. But no, I'm not. I am, but I'm not. I'm always tired. Look at me. I am the type of guy who's ready to go to sleep at any given moment. And I probably will after I post this after the show. But I think it's because I miss Casey. Man's on vacation. He's off in Connecticut, the wilds of Connecticut, enjoying it there. I don't know how it is Connecticut. It's a pretty horrible place, filled with, Casey. But no, I love the man. But he's off for the week. He'll be back next week. So yeah, I think we all do. Yeah, Paul definitely misses him. So is Liz. Haunted Connecticut. He is in Haunted Connecticut, and I hope he is getting completely and utter dismantled by a ghost right now. Not in a murdery way. I would love for him to just be scared by a ghost. I want him to be a Scooby-Doo to some Connecticut ghost somewhere on that farm he's on, and just being haunted. Because that bastard's not even watching right now. It's your own show, you bastard. Where are you? Now, he was going to try to stop by. Unfortunately, I think he just got busy, and plus he is on a farm right now. And good on him. I love farms. Farms are fun. I suppose I cannot relax on a farm though. I don't know where I can relax, honestly. Like, I can sleep. I can lay down, take naps, as that counts as relaxing. But I don't know about vacations. I wouldn't even know where to start or where to go. I always feel uncomfortable everywhere I go. I'm massive. I'm a giant, and I'm huge. I don't fit in things well. I'm always anxious about sitting on something and it breaking. Now I know that sounds but when you're this big, that happens, and that is a true anxious, feeling that we all get, all as big people. And listen, I'm not asking for any sympathy here. I'm just saying. Noom is helping. No, I'm just saying that when it comes to relaxing, like at home, I can relax. And even then, not really, because I have a beautiful wife that I love very much, but it likes to do things. And I think that's why I love her. One of the biggest reasons I love her so much is that she's so active and she always wants to do, like, she woke up this morning. All right. I don't sleep at night. Are you kidding me? I'm a night owl. But let me get this straight. She woke up this morning, ass crack early, and she took a walk. What is this? What is this walking thing that you're telling? This is insane. It was ridiculous. And I'm not forgiving her for it. No. She likes that. She does that stuff. She takes a walk. Should I take a walk? Yeah, I should. I absolutely 100% should. I need to get back to the gym. I just need to work out. I like to lift weights. That's where, like, when I'm working out, that's my happiest. Now, is this a show about movies or a show about me working out? I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place today, but I got some fun movie stories for you and topics to talk about later. Just shut up and listen. No, I love you guys. No, so she goes out, she goes for a walk, she comes back in. She took the dog, and by that time, I'm like getting the kids breakfast, things like that. But like she's so active, and I'm so sedentary, and I'm like, what the hell do I supposed to do? I'm bored. I need to go out and I need to do stuff. But now by that time, it's like 95 degrees. I don't want to do anything. So yeah, she came back. She told me I should probably start going to the gym. I can't argue with her on that. Going out to, I'll go out and I'll do some exercises with the kettlebell and stuff like that in the garage, but I need to get back out. I just need to start lifting weights again. Get back to my beautiful, no multiple chin face. Really just make it, make my alter ego in the mirror happy. So that's kind of where I'm at. But Paul says the exorcism of Scene Snob. I'm not exercising myself. Well, yeah, actually, that's true on both ends. Uh, Understandable, Mick. That's all big boy fears. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, listen, I got plenty of fears as a big boy. Oh, you got, not a long life expectancy. That's probably one. And poor David just rolled in and he's saying, "Hey to everybody, what's up, David? How you doing? Thanks for joining." And then I'm of course like, not a long life expectancy. What the hell is this show about? I am missing my partner tonight, so I am out here just rambling. And yeah, all right. So let me get to this part. All right, because I don't think this is going to be as long a show as normally is. We usually go like an hour and a half, but with Casey gone, and there's no back and forth. But if you guys want to chime in and comment along, for those of you who are back again, you know what to do. Anybody who's just joining us, please feel free. If you got stuff you want to talk about and you want to touch down on, let's do it. I'm down. So let me tell you guys, what I thought was a funny little story, but who am I to tell? So I'm going to show you a meme. All right. Now let's look at this meme, and I'm going to read it off to you. It's a picture of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Melissa Joan Hart, standing behind the actor who played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movies and many, many other movies. The reason I didn't say his name will be evident in just a few minutes. So, fun fact, Mortal Kombat and Sabrina the Teenage Witch take place in the same universe. In 1997, to promote the upcoming sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa reprised his role as Shang Tsung from the first film in the episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch entitled Get Over Yourself. It is revealed that Shang Tsung is actually Sabrina's uncle by marriage. And while in town on business, he pays the Spellmans a brief visit. Sabrina's aunts are not thrilled when Shang Tsung fixes dinner raw boar, or when he takes Salem's soul after the cat insults him. To get it back, Sabrina agrees to help promote that year's Mortal Kombat tournament. Shenanigans ensue. All right, everybody. So I got a funny story for you about this. Now, it's not like I believed that, but I kind of did. So So I read that. And as I'm reading it, here's the thing. It said the actor's name in it. I said his name. This is where my pea brain isn't working in the middle of the night. I was like, I need to check and see if this is real. So I get on my phone. Now, mind you, I saw the my laziness knows no bounds. I saw the meme and read the meme on my computer, on my laptop, closed it up, put it away. And then I was on my phone. I said, I'm going to check IMDb and I'm going to see if this was a real episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I didn't watch the show. I don't know it well. So for me, it was just kind of like, all right, I'm going to check it out. So I checked every title for every episode under every single season of the IMDb page. Now, I know it said 1997, but I still checked every single one. Could not find it. Could not find it. Then I checked them again in case I missed it. To no avail. It's at this point that instead of realizing that it isn't true, I'm telling myself it isn't true, but I'm not allowing myself to realize it isn't true. I tried to think of the actor's name to no avail. I forgot they mentioned it in the meme. I didn't open my laptop because now by that point I was too far away from it and I didn't want to move from this. So what did I do? I said, I remembered he was in Mortal Kombat because it was a part of it. So I spent the next 46 minutes 46 minutes trying to 6 degrees Melissa Joan Hart to Mortal Kombat. I, for 46 minutes, said, okay, now. Not Sabrina Spellman, not Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the show, Melissa Joan Hart, and how I can connect her to the Mortal Kombat movie. So I could get through and I can drill down through the clips and through everything else all the way to Mortal Kombat to find out the actor's name. And then check his IMDb on whether he's there. Now, I could not connect Melissa Joan Hart to Mortal Kombat. I could not figure it out. And I was trying. Is there a connection? Possibly. But here's the thing. When I couldn't figure it out, I gave up. I still have not typed it in to look. Now, mind you, on Google, the source for all information, I could have easily typed in Mortal Kombat and just clipped from there. But I gave up rather than type 2 words. But, and I didn't realize, I gave up so hard, I never went back. In fact, if I'm being honest with you right now, I did not know that actor's name until I just read that and realized, oh, it was in there. Yeah. So you go back. I didn't want to get the laptop, and then I forgot that it actually existed on the meme. And I just realized it when I reread it. That's how laziness was. But I wouldn't type in 2 words Mortal Kombat into Google and then just drill down from there. But yesterday I typed in, how far in do they go during the exam? I'm 40, everybody. It's going to happen. I just have to get it done. But I typed that whole sentence in. That's a direct quote sentence of what I typed in. But I would not type, and still haven't typed in Mortal Kombat into Google. And I don't think I'm ever going to. Now I never want to know. And that's just kind of what happened. I got duped by a meme, and my laziness could not figure it out. My laziness. Listen, I'm pretty good. I am pretty good when it comes to the olds. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. For real. Like I do a good job with it. I pay attention. If you throw out a 6 degree Kevin Bacon, like if you throw out an actor's name, I will 6 degree it. I will figure it out. Pretty fast too. So I kind of get. So the fact that I couldn't figure out Melissa Joan Hart to Mortal Kombat is a little disconcerting. But the fact that I was not able to do it out of pure laziness, yet I typed in that long of a of a sentence into Google, um, when really all I would have to type in is 2 words there: prostate exam. That's all I would have to type in. Again, I'm turning 40. Everybody, don't judge. But yeah, it's been. I still don't know. I still don't want to know. I'm still not going to look into it. And yeah, so I hate Mortal Kombat, Annihilation, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Connecticut. I think that's where I'm at in this life. And the reason I say that is because the madman actually showed up for once.
Hi.
Hey, you're not
Kind
your
of.
face. You show your face, you bastard.
All right, I can try real quick. I love everyone. It's great to see everyone. Hi from Connecticut. The storm that was rolling through previously prevented me from even having internet, so that was awesome. Yeah, cloud coverage, folks. It's yeah. Oh God, it's
Every
beautiful
time
up here.
it is not beautiful. Don't worry, everybody. It's gray and disgusting. It looks like everything that London should be.
And
Just
pretty
like-
much, it's what you would think it would be, but in fact, that isn't. That never happens.
Dude, every time you're in that room, remember last year we did this show? We had Hannah Fierman on
Hannah Fierman, yeah.
for that show. When you were in Connecticut in your old childhood bedroom. And I'm always hoping the door behind you will open up and a ghost will come out and meet you.
Oh no! So the ghost actually comes out of that. You can see that is the knob to the attic where the ghosts come out of. Right there. That's the door. That the reason House 2 absolutely destroyed me was because that's the attic door. So at any point, my bed would be laying this way with my foot right here, waiting for something to assault me.
Well, we all know Connecticut is the most haunted place on the earth.
That's why there are so many hauntings in Connecticut.
We went over this earlier, but I was telling my story about how I refused to do it without laziness involved. Figure out the actor's name who played Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Because I got duped by a meme.
The one who was also in Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
He was not. He was on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but not for the reason that I thought he was. It worked out in a different manner. And I refuse. He was actually in Rising Sun. We were talking about that not too long ago. He played the son in it.
Well, I'll tell you, the best character ever on Sabrina the Teenage Witch was definitely Penn Jillette as the devil.
Yeah, it worked really well. He did a good job
strong.
with that. Liz is here. I think they're all a little embarrassed by my story.
Hi, everybody.
They're saying hi. Radar says hi.
What's up, Radar? Hi, everybody.
Liz says the video showed Sabrina trying to fight him in the karate place. Listen, I'm just telling you right now, I don't know what happened in that episode. And it may have been a Mortal Kombat crossover episode. I'm unaware. But I'll never know because I'm not going to figure it out. It falls into the secret garden. That's what happens. Casey can attest to the secret garden for me. I refuse to know what the secret garden is. I don't want anybody to tell me because in the 4th grade, my teacher was reading us the secret garden and she stopped one day and never went back. And the little girl never got to the secret garden, so I didn't know what it was.
She was just, so the little girl was just trapped in the house with the invalid?
I forget. I don't even remember. I don't even remember where she was. And I never saw the movie.
I mean, obviously, not that I would know about the secret garden.
I think everybody knows about Secret Garden except for me because she never finished the book. And yet, could I have read it? Yes. Was I going to? No.
Well, I mean, it didn't involve a scrapyard, so it was different than what you were used to in Jersey.
All right, listen here. All right. I can make fun of, fucking Connecticut and their bullshit.
And my bears. Bro, we have bears. Like, not even joking, just bears hanging out, coming by the grill. checking out what's going on. Could use you here, bro.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna end this short so that way I can go fight some bears in Connecticut. See, I won't even type into Google Mortal Kombat to find out the guy's name. I will drive to Connecticut to fight some bears, though. I will do that.
Well, I mean, it's the only place, where you can easily access them. They're in town.
It's like the last scene in Punisher when John Bernthal is wearing the mask and he goes after him, and like he just takes off the jacket in the middle of the street, and they just get into a firefight. Oh my god!
But it's you against bears.
Just me and bears. I'm armed. I'm armed with 2 metal garbage can lids, and I'm just gonna fight them like Sonny Corleone beat up Carlos and Godfather. And that's just
it sounds about right.
I'm gonna hit them
and
in the
make sure to
snout.
like hit somebody through like maybe a toll booth. That's where you get the bears. You catch the bears in toll booths.
Oh, I will fuck. And nobody knows toll booth better than a guy from Jersey, because we have 97,000 of them. If you don't want, to deal with
the greatest toll booth attendant I can always remember is, for me, bang for my buck, is John Goodman and Coyote Ugly.
He was, yeah, and actually it was funny because I know exactly where he was a toll booth attendant. I know the exact toll booths that he played the toll booth attendant. That movie was filmed down the street from my high school, while we were there.
Wow.
That Knights of Columbus, the pizza place, everything was all right down the street from my high school. It was filmed there. And everybody was all in, and like I remember when they were filming, and like people were walking around and stuff, and we were all at school and we weren't allowed up there. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say hi to John Goodman. I'm gonna hit on Piper Paraboo. No, they didn't let us up there.
No, you wound up hanging out with Piper Parabo. I get it.
I have not, never have. Although she was always awesome in my opinion.
Yeah, she was badass. I was always a fan of hers.
Liz says she forgot about that story. So did I. Secret Garden, never coming back.
I don't know how. It's very, very memorable, because I always confuse Secret Garden with Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Yeah, no, it's not the same thing. I don't even know what happens in either
Secret
of those.
Garden, there you go. The Bruce Springsteen song. That's what's up.
Is that Secret Garden? Oh yeah, I guess from Jerry Maguire, right?
Jerry Maguire, bro. Absolutely.
Oh, that's right.
When she lets you into her secret garden that's hidden inside. That is a lyric.
That's a Springsteen song for you. It's taking it back to Jersey.
Bro, you go Secret Garden and Tunnel of Love. It's perfect. It's a combination.
That's true. Tunnel of Love is a great song. You should start an intern program to do work like that for you.
Okay. Hi, Paul. Congratulations. Are you talking about doing work like assaulting bears?
Both. No, they'll line up the bears. We're going to have so I'm going to put together a team like they did in Twister, where it's like a caravan. And,
yes.
Of like all different like scopes of people. And we're just going to go on bear hunts, but not like the traditional bear hunts. It's going to,
and then all of a sudden, when you're out there, having a conversation at a dinner table, I can come in like an idiot and go, well, you guys ever seen a Kodiak? And then someone just drop a fork on a plate and go, finger of God, man.
Well, fucking bears. What do you call bears without ears?
I don't know what.
Bees. You just got it. Radar. So it's the opening of Northern Exposure, but bears instead of a moose. Yeah, basically. That's Connecticut.
Pretty much. That's where I'm at.
John Wass. Good evening, gentlemen. Sorry for my late arrival, but the tiny barbarian needed stories before bed, and as she should, always deserves to get them. So make sure you do.
Absolutely. Mine did too, and then it took me 25 minutes to get in.
That's fair. And Paul says, good evening, Casey. And yes, congratulations, Paul. You just got married,
man.
Welcome to the world of marriage.
I do not know it. I hope you enjoy it.
It's all downhill from there. No, I'm just kidding.
And Samantha Dunn. Getting it done. Holler.
Damn right. It's like Jersey, but beautiful and smells great. You're a fucking liar. Jersey's beautiful.
Exactly.
You know, Jersey is like the top export of blueberries.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. There's Southern Jersey. You're from Northern Jersey, bro.
All right, everybody, that's our show. Been real. It's been fun. Hasn't been real fun. No. All right, let's get into the main
side.
topic.
Hold on. You're from the side where all like the famous people come from. Because they have to work to get out of there. Everyone in the South, nobody knows about South Jersey because everyone just gardens there.
Or goes to the beach or runs some kind of beach establishment. It's kind of how it works, I think.
Fair enough.
Oh, I'm adjusting in my chair. Look like a fucking bear adjusting in my chair. That's how I go.
Sexy bear.
All right, let's get to our main topic. I know some people are really interested in this. All right. So Casey, I didn't expect you to be here, but I'm glad you are.
I mean, I have no idea how long this is going to last, so I'm kind of just riding it while we got it.
Man, fuck it, let's do it. All right, so I want to talk about movies and the sacredness of movies. There are a lot of people, especially very opinionated today on our chats and stuff like that, about how sacred things in movies. Like a lot of people are like, these movies shouldn't be remade, or this shouldn't be done, or this shouldn't be done. I want to talk to you. Is there anything sacred in movies? First off, let's start there.
I think it falls back to the same side of storytelling. It's unfortunate that it's difficult to try to create a new story since most stories have all been told. It's a matter of what kind of tiny twists and character creations and changes you can give each character. Unfortunately, every story has to be retold. Every story has to be remade with new characters to change the dynamic of the story. As someone who has fought very hard believing that movies shouldn't be remade, and I have a lot of problems with remakes, and I am less likely to go to a remake, especially of a movie I liked. It doesn't mean it's not necessary to get other artists' interpretations of their stories. I think that's important. So it's difficult to say that something is completely untouchable, because that's unfair to any future filmmakers. And who knows, in 20 years, we might have some kid who's going to come out and blow Marvel away and come out with some better take on some new twist, on some new spin. I mean, the Maltese Falcon, although, yes, it is enshrined for what it is because that's Philip Marlowe. Bogart was Marlowe. It's remakeable. It's redoable. You can still come up with some twist on a story. So I think it's important because, Chris, you say classics and masterpieces should be left alone. And yet they only became classics and masterpieces because someone took that story, they tried something new, and they put a spin or added something to it. I think it's difficult to say that there shouldn't be another Gone with the Wind. There can be another story like it, but unfortunately people will want to remake it. I'm of the mindset that I won't go spend money on it. I probably won't go watch it. I'm not hip to any new remakes because it's difficult. Like Halloween, I'll give it. Halloween's a tough one. Yeah, Rob Zombie heard it, but yet we were able to get Halloween Kills in 2018 and some sort of newness to it, life injected into these. There's always the plausibility that we can take something, put it on its head, and give it something more, make something better. It's unfortunate that we're not seeing more of originality, more of new things coming out. But at the same token, I don't believe anything is sacred. I believe anything has the right to be remade. I think anything has the right to be tried again. It doesn't mean I necessarily am going to go see it. I know a great deal of people who won't go see it, but it's artistic interpretation. The original output was an artist's piece of work. So I struggle with remakes of something because it was an original piece of work. At the same token, the people with the money who are in charge are going to keep making the stuff. So as much as I am against remakes and not always enjoy remakes and very seldom will support remakes, I think it's very different when you start to say remake versus rehash. I think there's something to be said for rehashing old ideas. I think it's very important that we take and rehash some of those old ideas to give new life into them. For me, as I've said before, I'm a huge summer camp slasher guy. I love them. I think they're ridiculous and they're wonderful. And actually having Bloody Summer Camp come out made me, with that new view, that new lens, an idea, it made me love the Friday through the 13th movies all that much more. It reinvigorated my zest for them. And I really enjoyed being able to watch them. I think there is a struggle that happens there when we get stuck in the two, and it's difficult to kind of figure out, is this a remake? Oh, I've already seen this same scene a million times, or I've seen something similar to this. Yes, similar doesn't necessarily make it the same. And I think that's something that we do as humans, is we shut our brains off when it seems like something that's rehashed or something we've seen 1,000 times. And we go, I'm done. I don't want to see that. I'll go to my favorite thing that I covet and love, and I'll go watch this. The danger in that is we turn into golems with our own properties and thoughts and ideals. We start to covet, cherish, and hold these things so dear that we don't allow them for future purposing, for future attempts, for future showings. And I think there's different levels of appreciation of that art. So although someone may love what was done with Big Trouble in Little China, me, right, huge fan, there are enough people out there in the world who have never seen that movie, and if they saw it, they think it was junk, and they would want to see a rehash or some different version. The prime example to this is 007. The 007 movies are constant rehashes with changed characters. That's it. That's all they are. It's always the same thing with a new face and a new bad guy. And it consistently remains that way. I think the recent James Bond, Daniel Craig's, were done fantastically because they allowed us to get a more complete story from beginning to end, almost more the Ian Fleming serial style, which is really how that was meant to be. But I still think it is important to have this. I think it's really wise to have different interpretations of art and different artistic styles, because you can also throw a movie on its head. You can still try to redo something like, I don't know, let's go Citizen Kane. But what if you did it from the perspective of the bobsled, right? Huh? Who would see that coming? I might sit through 4.5 hours of a freaking bobsled named Rosebud just living its life. That could be cool. Probably just as interesting as the actual Citizen Kane itself. So, there's that. Let's see what everybody's saying right now. Okay. Liz, definitely seeing some more of the original stuff in movies lately, hoping they keep coming, even though if blockbusters are getting more attention. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the blockbuster I'm weird on blockbusters because I'm kind of done with them. I think they rehash a lot of things that it's done without heart. And that's the biggest part. A lot of these movies that we're talking about redoing were done originally with heart. They were done with purpose. They were given feeling and love, and it really meant a lot. And to redo the things without heart, it's difficult.
Thank the gods that you showed up tonight.
What's up, buddy?
Thank the gods you showed up tonight. I've never had to go to the bathroom in 2 or 3 years, almost 3 years of this show. Never had to go to the bathroom during the show.
That's a first, even
Never.
when you had your staghorn kidney stones, bro.
Nope, I was good.
It was never
I stuck it out. If you didn't show up, this would have been a very clear, all right, gotta go. That would have been the shortest
sweaty the whole way through,
ever.
just red in the throat,
Best feeling ever. And that's why I don't think movies are sacred.
Yeah, perfect. Fire away. I'm actually curious what you think, because I say, after reading Liz's, Radar said there are some I wouldn't call sacred, but it shouldn't be remade because you couldn't get the magic. And I agree, man. There are some things you cannot get that magic. Like I said, it's that heart. It's you care about the product you're putting out. And it comes across. Like it really does. There are some movies that are awful, should be anyway, and yet Gremlins has no right to be as good as it is. And yet it came together with the heart, and you love it. You love a little tiny freaking stuffed animal character more than anyone else in that movie, because the humans are all completely expendable. Like you don't care about the humans.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of people and there's a lot of movie fans that boast about this is sacred. You don't touch it. You can't remake this. You can't remake that. And I used to feel that way a lot. Pretty heavy.
You and I have spoken about that.
Yeah, I was always like, I don't think they should remake this. I don't think it should be touched because I feel like the classics should be seen. And the older I get and the farther I get from a lot of those classics that I loved, I realize the generations after me, most people aren't appreciating those things because they don't know to, they don't care to. But then you start seeing an appreciation once a remake comes out or a sequel that comes later or this, that, and the other thing. And so it's got me thinking, I'm like, I don't care. I don't think there's anything that's too sacred that you can't. And my biggest one being probably Indiana Jones. I'd be okay with a new Indiana Jones. We don't
I
need
would
to
be
let it
too.
die.
A lot of these characters, the actors, the directors, the writers, everybody who created these stories are dying. They're dying. They don't exist anymore. The human beings who were here, who created and gave it to us, are no longer here, or they're on their way out. And I think it's wonderful if they would decide to invest properly. Now we go to Indiana Jones. We also saw the failure of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So it is always dangerous to try to rehash using the original actors, the original characters, all of these bits. I think they really screwed that up. And that's where we're seeing the struggle with studios. So when I don't want to see a remake, I don't want to see studio remakes.
Yeah.
I want to see some guy who's 24 and has a burning passion for some sort of John Carpenter-esque movie and wants to try to remaking The Thing or do some creature feature and wants to remake The Blob. Who doesn't want to remake The Blob?
I don't think you should be able to remake anything. And Chris has a good point here. Chris says the sad thing is most remakes aren't even worthy of the time spent watching them.
Very true.
I agree.
No, very true, Chris.
I agree.
You are 100% correct in that. Yes.
I think they've gotten better. I think remakes are starting to. It's not about remaking your favorite director's work anymore. Like it was for 20 years there. That's basically what it was. And like remake it, make it in your own image. Let's do it to make it update it, and it didn't work. People were getting annoyed by it. I think it worked on some things, but I think there's a lot more respect to it now. I like the sequel aspect that kind of reintroduces it into the world, like the Halloween movies that are coming out and what they're doing with Scream and stuff like that. But my biggest thing is with the remakes, I think you just need to make your own mark on it. I think that it doesn't need to be, I'm going to pay homage. If it's a director that really loves the source material, like where it comes from, that doesn't work because then they're too close to it. Or if it's a director that's really out there and is like, I got the job and I want to put my own spin on this, and you'll never see it. A spin is fine. Uh-oh. Casey has to go to the bathroom now.
No. Am I still here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay. All right. It's just dropping out. Sorry.
You're all good, man. No, but like for me, it's like I think if you're gonna make a good remake, it's got to be something that you have respect for, but you're willing to put your own mark on it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what all the good remakes that have been made have done.
Agreed.
Radar says if
Liz
they ever
Liz brings up It, and I want to touch on It because I want to touch on Stephen King.
All right, I'm going to touch down. I'm going to go down.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
I want to go down. I just want to touch on Radars real quick because you did mention Gremlins earlier. If they remake Gremlins, we have to address the bitch that's just straight up, I'll kill your dog, and no one bats an eye. Yeah, but that was 80s capitalism. She ran the town. They were afraid of her. Like people would lose jobs by talking back to her. So you kind of get it. Firestarter didn't need a remake. And then let's go down to
it. Didn't need one? Look, I'm going to say it didn't need one. And yet, upon rewatching, it was the exact same movie with just updated characters. And I was totally fine with it.
Yeah, I was fine with it. I'm glad they're remaking Salem's Lot. And this is the second remake of Salem's Lot. And I liked
Salem's
the remake.
Lot needs one. As much as I love the original, it needs one. Kind of like Needful Things. I love Needful Things.
It got a really good one. It got a really good one with Rutger Hauer and Rob Lowe in the early 2000s. And it was a TV movie, but it was good. And then they did a really good job.
Wasn't that a
and
TV? wasn't that a TV event? It was like a 2-parter thing.
Yeah, it was like two days. Yeah, that's like most like Stephen King TV movies back in the day were. You know, they were like
Yeah.
mini series. But they did a really good job with it. Now, if they're going to have money behind it, yeah, you need to remake Salem's Lot, and I want to see what it's like. Stephen King.
Now, same point. The remake of Pet Sematary, I thought was way worse than the original. But a lot of people, I was blown away to find out people didn't even like the original. Like, it still blows my mind. I thought Pet Sematary is one of the greatest Stephen King movies ever made. Next
I think that became
Overdrive.
more of a cult. I remember that being more of a cult movie back in the day, having that status. I mean, it came, and like when it came out, it was like a big deal that they were making this movie, this Stephen King movie, but because it did come out in theaters, and not many of his movies were. But
not like Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, Stephen King's one of those things where I don't think it's a bad idea to remake his stuff. I just think if you're going to remake it, don't remake it unless you know it's going to be better. And I thought the Firestarter was better than the book. I thought the remake of Firestarter was better than I liked the ending of it. I liked how different it was. And compared to the original, I was never a huge fan of the original. So I didn't hate this new one. I kind of dug it a little bit. I didn't love Zac Efron as a dad. I just didn't think he fit that well.
Sure.
But neither did David Keith.
No, David Keith was definitely not a dad. He was not. That's why the first one I was like, how am I supposed to believe he's dad-like?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like anything. When you're rebooting, you're remaking, stuff like that. It comes down to.
Yeah, I have a lot of problem with the remakes that are almost just in name recognition only and wind up not actually being the movie or being the story, and they just seem to miss that. I'm not a fan of that. That's where I struggle with, is when it becomes more about name recognition and just studios putting money behind the name, as opposed to this fantastic stuff we have out there. Like, there's enough Dean Koontz books that could fill up an entire library of film, and yet we have seen, what, 2? One was a Lifetime movie.
Well, Odd Thomas was was Dean Koontz Odd Thomas, or yeah, I think he was. I'm pretty sure it was him. Odd Thomas was a good one. Anton Yelchin did a great job. Like, and that adaptation was good from the book. But it continues on. It's too bad, of course, he passed away. But I thought those would have been a good slate of movies to do. But you're right. Like, there's a lot that could be made. And it could be done really well. But, you know, people, like, fans call for it being sacred. And now, listen, fans drive it. So the fans don't want to see it. That's fine. Like, then they don't have to make it. But I just don't think anything's too sacred to make or change or do. It's gotten to this point where it's like, yeah, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's like, and like David says here, and then we were talking about Stephen King earlier, the Stan remake did suck. The TV show sucked. It just was not good. I did like the miniseries when it came out. Like, it was just different. It was odd. But here's where my argument comes in with the Stephen King thing. Should you remake everything? No, I don't think so. I don't think you should remake a Maximum Overdrive. Can you? Sure. Do I think it's sacred? No, not at all. Why do I think that you shouldn't remake it? Is because it's one of those things. It's remaking a cult classic is hard. When you remake a cult classic, you're basically saying to everyone, like, we're gonna do it better. And it's like, yeah, but we love this. It's only popular because of the love.
Starship Troopers, man.
You know, like, I remember when Snakes on a Plane came out, and even the trailers and the posters said this is an instant cult classic. And that's why nobody fucking remembers that movie or thinks to watch it anymore. Yeah, I'm sure you have your odd fan here and there who like it, but nobody talks about that movie in circles, really. Like, it never comes up. And why is it not a cult classic? Because that's what you were going for, and that's not what a cult classic is.
Exactly.
So I think if you're going to make an argument for sacred, what is it, sacredy? Is sacredy a word?
Sacredity?
Sacredity? It's a
No,
word
it's
now.
sacredness. Sacredness.
All right, sacredness. I like
Ha.
sacredity. I want to go.
Symbolism. I
I
believe
want
the
to
word you
go.
were looking for there was symbolism.
I want to go with sacredity. So, the sacredity of some wars, of these movies, stuff like that. I think the cult classics are probably the most sacred, but those are because those are the movies that had to go through hell and fail and fail and fail and find its audience,
Mhm.
and they earned it almost. Like people tell me, like they should never remake Goonies. Probably not. Here's why: because you're never going to capture the magic again.
No.
It's not going to happen. You can't recapture the magic of the Goonies, but you can remake the movie and go right ahead. But how are you doing like basically Stranger Things is a remake of Goonies with a lot of other stuff rolled into it.
Yeah.
And it has its own spin on it. Can you remake Goonies for what it was? You could not set it in present day.
No.
It would not work. It just
With
wouldn't.
cell phones, you're automatically, that blows half your entire story.
Somebody would take a picture of that map and put it up on Facebook, and then it would be sold on Marketplace for $50.
More than likely.
And nothing would ever come of it. They would find the Fratellis super quick. It wouldn't happen. But
Yeah.
you could you remake it and set it in the 80s? Sure. But it's so hard to make that work. It's so hard. Like,
But then,
listen.
do you remember the summer of '84 movie that came out?
Love
The
that
one
movie.
where the kids you remember that movie, right?
I watched it last night for my Halloween horror movie countdown.
It's
That
a
was
great
number
one,
85
man.
on the list.
Awesome. Oh, I like how you did that.
Yeah.
Summer of '84 for '85. Nice.
I swapped it out. I was not on purpose, and I realized as I was saying number 85, this is it. I felt like an idiot. But I was like, I could have pushed it another day, but I didn't, because I went from Bloody Summer Camp to Summer of '84.
Awesome.
But for argument's sake, like Summer of '84, I loved. I thought it was an absolutely wonderful movie that captured the 80s perfectly and captured how kids played in the 80s or did things. But it wasn't the Goonies.
No.
You didn't get that.
Well, it wasn't Goonies, and it wasn't going to be Goonies, and that's the beauty of a lot of these movies is they're not going to be Goonies. Like, and that's the whole thing is when I say spiritual successor, I mean spiritual successor. Like, you can get a lot of the heart of some movies, but if you focus on trying to remake the story, you will lose what makes a movie great, and that's what you bring to it. Oh, wait, hold on. So, I don't even know how long I was gone for there.
You were listening.
When you're, but that's
there.
one of the things, and that's why I think it's important to be able to remake. You shouldn't be able to remake a movie. That's why I don't like retitling a movie. But just because a movie is similar to another movie, that's where you get the good stuff. Something that has the heart and tries to take the feel of certain movies. And that's why it's very difficult to remake the movies, but I don't think it shouldn't be allowed. And I don't think it's something that should ever be stopped or halted. If people want to continue making whatever they want to make, go right ahead. Doesn't mean I have to watch it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing. Fans dictate what comes out or what gets remade and things like that. And that's why you're not going to see another Star Wars movie for a few years, because people still have the stink on their breath. And those were remakes. Those were rebooting the franchise. It was just dismal and did not work.
It was poor. It was very poor.
To go back to one of Chris's points, especially Stephen King being touched down on, Misery remake is being talked about, but why the OG was perfect. Yeah, it was. But that's why they want to capitalize on it. And there will be either be an audience or not. What I think why I think that one will be a huge failure is because I don't think. What?
Agreed. If you don't have Kathy Bates, I mean, Kathy Bates was what made that. I mean, you could put James Caan, who's an amazing actor. You could put anyone in that position. Now, James Caan being more of a beefy, strong, rugged man, being afraid, was very impactful. I think that was a big deal, and part of what brought that chemistry together was him being able to act his face off. to be this tough guy, all of a sudden getting his legs broke by this just methodically sadistic, incredible Kathy Bates, who just, you were on board with her, man, the whole way. I mean, I was. That's who I associate with. Are you not supposed to associate with Kathy Bates in that movie?
No. You know, she murdered children, right?
Yeah, but that was different. Wasn't that Dolores Claiborne?
No, that's who Annie Wilkes was. Remember, she was like the angel of death, the nurse that murdered all those kids. So in that movie, the reason I think if you found a really good actress to step in and do it, they could pull it off.
Melanie Linsky or whatever her name is from the Yellow Jackets, man, she'd be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you're caught on the Yellow Jackets right now. I love when you have a show that you're watching. No, I don't know her, but I would inclined to agree with you because you do have a good eye for it. But I would say like nobody's going to be as memorable because of who Kathy Bates was at the time, and that was a relatively completely unknown human being. Nobody knew who she was, and this was her first real role, in a movie or anywhere really. And then she fucking grand slammed it out of the park. So it's just, and that was a hell of a script to work with. If you're gonna remake it, you just got to make it your own. That's your best bet, honestly.
That's the thing. You have to be able to create your own character. You can have someone get into an accident and they get stuck in a place by someone who is completely sadistic, and the things they struggle through with the mental discourse and everything they have to deal with. Look, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Don't call it misery.
I don't know. It's a pretty miserable script. John says, I want to see the remakes of the original Star Wars trilogy with Ewan McGregor as Kenobi. I grew up with those films. I love them, but they could be updated and improved upon. Didn't they try that in the 90s and nobody liked it?
That was different. That was when they just tried to like add things and they did a terrible job. What they need to do is just remove everyone from it. I mean, we only have Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and George Lucas kicking around. So once they're gone, then remake them.
Anthony Daniels is still around, I think. I don't think they need to be remade. I don't think they'll work if they're remade. I don't need that change. Alec Guinness is fine for me. I can go back and watch those movies and not be upset about it. But again, I don't think it's sacred. I think
what about the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. They're good for what they were, but I mean, they're not. It's not the greatest movies. The Man with No Name trilogy, they were good. That's what they were. Like that's as far as I'm going. Like they were good.
But that's the funny part is those were good movies. We have great movies like 3:10 to Yuma come out. And for some reason that doesn't get as much love because there's something we hold on to with the classics.
I remember when that movie got remade and was coming out, and a lot of old timers who remembered the old movie were like, why the hell did they remake this movie? They just didn't really care about the original. I love it. Casey's frozen. You stay there and you stare at me, you jerk. I love you. I remember when Liz says, I remember when Tiffany didn't like the new Child's Play movie. I liked it though, but I get where she was standing. Okay. What you mean Cult of Chucky and Curse of Chucky? I didn't mind them. I didn't love Curse of Chucky. I liked the Curse of Chucky. I didn't love Cult of Chucky, but whatever. They're fun. Unfortunately, we lost Casey, everybody, so it's just me again. I have a killer robot movie, though. It's called Terminator. Yes, radar. Well, look at then there it is. There it is. Like, whereas maybe you should have left Terminator alone after Terminator 2, they kept going. They keep going. And it gets worse. And it gets worse. And it gets worse. I didn't need any more than that. I tried watching Terminator Genesis the other day. I don't know why, but I mean, and they still made an even worse movie right after that. Like, it's just ridiculous at this point. Now, I don't think that's a sacred thing. I think that's you're failing miserably. Now, and take it back to what I was talking about earlier with Prey and the Predator franchise. Prey was pretty good. As far as Predator movies go, it was pretty good. In fact, the thing that I found that I didn't like about it the most was the Predator. I was like, I take him out, and I would have much rather the story that was going on. But watching this movie and kind of continuing on with it and seeing what where it comes from and you know like with Terminator and stuff like that and where those franchises go, if they're getting worse. And now mind you, I know that sequels aren't supposed to stand to the original, although Terminator 2 proved that it's far superior to the original. Even though I do love the original, do not get me wrong, I love the first Terminator movie. But it does pale in comparison to 2. But I know sequels are supposed to dwindle down. That's just the way it works. You drill back down. But there has to come a point where you pull the plug. One of the best things I ever heard was Roger Corman talk on Dinner for Five back in the day. That guy's Roger Corman. If you ever want to be a filmmaker, and you're not studying Roger Corman's interviews, give up now. Just give up now. You should be studying his interviews. You should be studying Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma. You should be studying his style in filmmaking and his interviews about how to make movies. Of course you should listen to the Quentin Tarantinos. You should listen to the Robert Rodriguez's, all the big ones that we truly love and adore. But these are the guys who had nothing and built like small empires within the film industry that were independent of the studios. They made it work. So if you're not listening to Roger Corman, and you're missing out on the genius of it. Again, I'm not saying don't look at the bigger filmmakers. You should. You absolutely should. But when you're starting out as a filmmaker, there's nobody better to listen to than indie guys who made it work and made careers of it, made their own studios out of it, and just kept it going. And I mean that. Trust me, you need to be listening to this. But one thing Roger Corman said was how it worked. And he took the Carnosaur movies, and he was talking about that. Came out around the same time as Jurassic Park. The first Carnosaur, he said the first Carnosaur movie made this much. So then we're going to make Carnosaur 2. And Carnosaur 2 made just a little bit less. And his thing was he would make a bottom line. He would like scrape the bottom line, and he would keep making sequels. And when the last sequel in this franchise was just above that bottom line, he knew that was it. He quit. He was like, all right, we're not going to continue this franchise anymore because that's it. It's just, he was a genius at it. He knew how many should be in a franchise and what worked. Now, granted, if you're looking at it, the quality of the movies sometimes was lower, but it's an indie film, and that's what he made. He made movies that would thrill you, but for less than the big guys were doing. And he knew how to save a buck. He knew how to make it work, and he was a genius at it. But he finished his franchises off. And most of the franchises that you see him come through, that have come through him, work. If you like them, you're going to like all of them because they all work. And I think that's really what it came down to. And, is Casey up here? Oh, Casey's here. Yep. Casey. Hey, everyone. Crazy being on the side of the screen. Stupid internets. Love y'all. Love you too, buddy. Thanks for joining in as long as you could. And we'll have him back next week, everybody. So Casey will be here, and we'll go strong again. It's going to be a lot of fun, but hopefully you guys are enjoying just me here, doing this. So, and no more interruptions. I will remain here the entire time, but at least I gave you some alone time with Casey. Absolutely true. Milk it until it's dry, then top and new tea. But here's the thing: he still remained above his bottom line. His bottom line was like, if the movie makes less than this, and now mind you, he would write his bottom line after the first one. So he's basing it on, we spent this much. That's my bottom line. If it makes less than the first one costs to make, then we're done. And if it was right above, he just finished it off. He was like, we're not going to get any more. That's the next one will definitely be below the line. That's genius. And the reason I bring that up is because, like, with the Terminators and the big ones, they're milking these for as much as they can go. They throw big stars at them. Not really great directors, not really great storytellers writing the scripts. And they suck and they don't do well. And then we have Prey, which is Predator 5, but just not, it's good, but it's not capturing, what we want in a Predator movie like that first one did. So you're crushing it, bro. Mick Solo greater than Han Solo. Well, it depends on which Han Solo, right? Yeah, but so we get down to it, but when it comes ultimately to it, is anything sacred in movies that shouldn't be touched? I will always side with no. I don't think so. I don't think that there's anything sacred in movies that can't be touched. You can remake everything, and there's going to be an audience for it. I have met plenty of people who really like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and I know that came up a lot in our conversations today. I did not like it. I didn't think it was great. Now there's some cool quality things to it. And I just spit. That was incredibly disgusting. But there's some cool quality things to it. I thought Jackie Earle Haley played a pretty good Freddy for what they were going for. But yeah, no, ultimately it just wasn't good. I liked the Friday the 13th remake, but it's not as good as the original. They don't capture the magic. But that's the thing. Like, let them remake it. It will fall flat on its face. And then hopefully people will turn around and be like, let's just make sequels. Let's just get back what we need to get back and do it. And I think that can happen. Liz says, can't remake Titanic. They already have. Titanic in itself is a remake of a lot of older Titanic movies. There's a lot of aspects to it that were in those old movies that were in this one, because they were part of the true story, of course. But I thought they did a good job, and I wouldn't want them to, because I don't think I need it. Like, what is the most exciting thing about Titanic? And let's be real, it's when the ship is going down. That is the most exciting thing. That is ultimately what we're watching for. We are not really watching for this love story, although not bad. I'm not putting it down. It is a very good movie. It's just not for me. It's not one I rewatch ultimately. But when you think about it, is Titanic anything groundbreaking? No, not really. I mean, well, aside from the visual effects of the time, I thought the visual effects at the time were really well done. But yeah, no, I don't need it. I don't need a remake of it, because the exciting part was the ship going down, and you're not going to top it. That's like Poseidon Adventure when it got remade. It's like, really? You're not even topping the visual effects from the original, and that was in the 70s. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I'm going on with this, and like when it comes to sacredness in movies, see, Casey, I used the word right. When it comes to sacredness of things in movies, stuff like that, there's certain things that I think probably shouldn't be touched, not because it's sacred, but ultimately because it's just not, it's stupid to do it. Again, like, there's a charm there, and I especially believe that cult classics have that charm. And they are the charming part about it. They're the ones that worked for their audience, and they finally got them. But yeah, no, I just don't want to see meaningless remakes anymore. I'm kind of done with that. Liz, I did not mean to upset you. I'm not saying they should remake Titanic or anything like that. I'm just saying I feel like it would be okay, because storytelling wise, it just wasn't groundbreaking. Chicken, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us, brother. It wasn't groundbreaking, but do I think they should remake it? No, because again, the visual effects, the action parts to it, everything that had James Cameron behind it. Like, you're not really going to top that. So I just think it should be left alone, just because anybody trying is going to probably fail at it. They need to bring back intermission with a lot of these movies, clocking around 3 hours. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, man. And remember, that was an event, man. That was like going to a play, them playing their intermissions and kind of plugging along with them. But yeah, if they get any longer, it's funny because I reviewed a lot of movies this past weekend. I watched Bullet Train, which was 2 hours and like 6 minutes. Did not feel like it though. I really enjoyed it. You can check out my review on that. All these have my reviews up. Checked out Prey. Checked out They, Them, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And there was a fifth one, but I can't remember what it was. I did it, I did that, and I did Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the one I can't think of with my kids. We reviewed it together because they're both animated movies we watched. Unfortunately, I can't remember it at the moment. But yeah, no, for me though, I went back and watching all these movies, and with the exception of Bullet Train, they were all under 2 hours. Super Pets, that's right. I didn't watch Super Pets. They did. They reviewed it. That's right, Liz. Thank you so much, Super Pets. So I didn't watch that movie though. They watched it, so I reviewed it with them and I asked them about it. So all these movies that I watched were, except for Bullet Train, were under 2 hours. And I think that's the first time this summer something I watched and reviewed for a new movie was under 2 hours. I'd have to go back and double check, but I think every movie that I've watched or did a review on our YouTube channel was about 2 hours or over. I'm done, man. I'm done. Stop with the 2.5, 3 hour, 4 hour movies because they're not getting better. If you can't, if you need that long to tell your story, dial it back. If it's not, all the ones I watched were pretty good for, an hour and 40 minutes here, hour 45 minutes. They're pretty good. They got their stories across. They weren't too bad. I just didn't need that much, so, but, it is what it is. They do their thing. Well, I think we're going to kind of start heading out now. Do our thing. If anybody has anything they want to talk about last minute, please feel free to jump in on that. But guys, make sure you're checking out thescenesnobs.com. We always have stuff going on. We videos go up there. You check out our YouTube channel. Please like this video if you're watching on YouTube, or subscribe to the channel if you think you'd like it. Please join our Discord if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's talking on there, having a good time. And we're building it up slowly but surely. The Snobs Nation, we're building it up, and it's getting better and better. And if you do talk, have fun, throw it out there, throw memes out, throw comments, conversations, the whole nine. Get in on it because everybody is already doing that. And it's been a lot of fun. We have Patreon available if you guys are interested. Support Scene Snobs if you'd like. You don't have to, of course. We would never push you to do that. Or you can check out any one of our affiliates. We talked about Noom in this show. We're brought to you by that, but we also do Skillshare, and we do Bark Super Chewer, which I love that thing. That thing has helped my dog immensely, and it's great. But yeah, go check those things out. Make sure to check out the Scene Snobs podcast, which is live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Today it was kind of a crazy day for both of us, but we'll be back again. I want to thank you all for all of your support. We have been ranked on 3 different podcasts at number 1. Not just in the top 5. We're ranked number 1 on 3 different podcast ranking, and on Good Pods, we're on a bunch of their lists. The top 100, we're number 1 in their top comedy episodes, both indie and non-indie shows. We're number 1. Last week's episode was the number 1 episode on Good Pods. So it's been really awesome to see, and that doesn't happen without all of you guys and all your wonderful support. You guys have been truly amazing. We love you. Oh, we got here. Chris says, always checking you guys out. Yeah, we appreciate it, Chris. And I love our, hear from you over on TikTok, and we appreciate you jumping in on this and watching along. Liz says, I need Paper Girls to have another season. I'm going to watch it. I've sat down and I've taken your advice. I'm going to watch the show. They only have 8 episodes. Oh, that's a quick show then. You're the best. Thank you, Liz. We appreciate your support. But yeah, I'm going to check out Paper Girls because that looks really interesting, because I did not know much about it when we talked about it, and I was kind of off the cuff with it. And then I did a little more deep dive based off your, off of not your review, but what you said about it. And yeah, it looks really interesting. So I'm going to go check that out. Guys, again, I love you. I appreciate you. You are all amazing. I know Casey does as well. I don't have to even say it. I'm sure you guys know. And Casey, I love you, buddy. Miss you. See you next week. We'll get back to the comedy and have a lot of fun with it. But if guys, there's anything that you want to talk about, or you have topic ideas or anything like that, check out Midnight Mass if you haven't. That's another one that's on the list to check out, Chris, and I definitely will. But yeah, just go check out thescenesnobs.com. See if you want to follow us anywhere, join in on conversations and stuff. Truly appreciate you, and we will talk to you guys next week. Take care. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs Podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel, or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, Mick's movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.